what we got to understand now is, or what we got to try and look into now is, who is Baal, and what is Baal's significance?
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing? This is where it all loses me. I see this as all minutiae to the big point. Where do you go? Where do we go with all this? What's the?
Oh gosh.
No. I'm just saying. What's the?
Don't be impatient. We'll get there. You're trying to skip past the explanation to get to.
All right, go on.
And when we get, you need to hear. Like, this is the thing. Don't be closed-minded, Barry. Like, don't.
I'm not, man. I'm not.
Okay, just try and be a little bit patient, and I'm sure that we can. Yeah. Right? So we gotta understand who Baal is and what role Baal plays in the mind of the ruling elite, right? And its historic significance. Once we start lining these things,
how do we know that? How do we know that?
Because it's documented. Because the history is documented. Baal is documented.
But how do you know that that's what they're thinking? I mean, we don't even know who they are, let alone what they're thinking.
Well, to be fair, we start with the puppets that we're given, and we can build up a pretty impressive picture using research like sonar to map out a vague body, and then we can build on that. Because unfortunately, or fortunately, rich, clever people like to write books and put their information in books. So a lot of this stuff is documented. Who Baal is, if we want to know who Baal is, then we can read from learned Freemasons that speak about the mythology of who Baal is. It's not a secret. Yeah, you can learn from many different scripts and many different artifacts of who Baal is and what took place at the temple of Baal. Then we would ask the question, well, why are our elites indulging in this type of worship or veneration of a long forgotten ancient deity that surely they don't believe in 2021? Then we start getting.
You want me to stay you want me to give my opinion, don't you, or get involved, or because basically I just see a whole lot of tenuous lines. I mean, from the first thing you were saying, I agree that to actually contribute ideas and who's doing what and whatever, they're not. It loses me. Maybe I should drop out, but this is, I just I'll turn my mic off.
Barry Black, like it's evident you have a closed mind. Like,
I don't get it.
No, it's not a closed mind, man. Just because I might not agree with you doesn't make me a closed mind. But I'll turn up my mic and listen. All right.
I don't mind. Like, disagreeing is beautiful. That's fertilizer for a great conversation. Not agreeing on the same point, but it's how you listen shows me how genuine you are to actually hear the other person's perspective and grasp it. Now,
that's why I'm saying I'll turn it off. I'll listen. Right?
Grasping my perspective and learning my perspective doesn't mean you have to agree with my perspective. But it also does, what it does do is arm you with information of, okay, this is how somebody else thinks. Then you can make an informed decision. But until you do that, you hear something that you kind of don't really, and then you interrupt, like, da, 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 da. And we, like, either we want to get to the bottom of it or not. I'm not telling you I believe in Baal. What I'm telling you is important of our rulers to venerate the temple of Baal in modern day Great Britain.
What does that mean?
So what does what mean?
That sentence. Sorry, I don't understand that, but yeah.
It's important for, it's important for our rulers to make significant head nods towards ancient belief systems.
Why?
Ones we find archaic and ones that we have rationalized are nonsense. The rulers, those that decide our day-to-day movements, those that are making decisions on whether you're going to need a vaccine passport or not, those that are deciding on whether your business can open or not, those that are deciding on whether your son goes to school or not, they seem to have an interest in this ancient information. So that is what I'm looking at. That's what I'm saying. So when someone like witnesses asking, well, how do we know that they're doing rituals? Well, we can say, well, we're looking at the pattern of what they show us they believe in. And it's encoded in everything they do, from the regalia to the words that they use to their foreign policies. we can match all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's patterns.
We can match them.
Fine. I'm not going to argue against that. You're able to prove that. Okay, I'll take it for granted. Let's say you can prove that. But how do we know that all those rituals and showing the importance to that Baal is actually worth something? It may not be worth anything at all. It might just be in their head. They think that doing the ritual is going to have some supernatural power, but that supernatural power doesn't actually exist.
I'd love
well,
to.
let's just move it on and
I'd love
see
to
what
think
happens.
that. I'd love to think like that. However, I can't tell you the last time I felt that the people were organically in power. So that's got to count for something, because those that are the ruling elite, whether they be the Ghanaian prime ministers, the last 4 that died and all had Masonic burials, or whether it be the leader or the creator, founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses, or whether it be Ellen G. White, or whether it be Jimmy Savile. Seems like all these people have extended interest. These people in positions of power, whether they choose to use that power to abuse us or to pose as philanthropists, it seems that they have a vested interest in this type of information. So whether or not it is true, whether or not they can conjure up a boogeyman or a specter, I'm just letting you know the information that they are dealing with, is of a highly esoteric nature, which refers back to occult practices and information. Now, we can stand here and be like, well, how do we know that has anything that has any effect?
No, well, let's move on.
What we can't deny is that these people are in power.
But Barry, that is the crux of this whole discussion, the supernatural.
Yeah, I know, but he's sort of given a presentation. Let's go with it, and then we'll talk about it.
I'm sorry.
That's how sorry, I'm impatient.
Yeah, you are impatient, but I'm sorry. No, that's not the crux of the matter. It's not about the crux of the matter isn't about whether these people can levitate and speak to goats, interdimensional goats, or that's not what the crux of.
No, we're getting sidetracked, don't we?
Talk to goats. I never said that. I never said that.
Come on. I never said you said that. I'm just giving a facetious example. But what I am basically trying to say is, regardless, and I've said this in 50 different ways, regardless of what mumbo jumbo they believe in or they don't believe in, the fact is the people that practice these things or indulge in these things are in power and have remained in power via their bloodlines for minimum centuries.
Facts.
Right? So
I'm just saying, if sorry, Barry, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you, brother.
I'm saying, let's say all these rituals are taking place, then there must be an opposite to it. There must be people who are doing the same supernatural stuff for good. Where are they?
As far as I'm concerned, that is a logical fallacy.
Really?
Yeah. You're doing that again. We've gone to the zoo. We're staring in a giraffe enclosure, and you're assuming you're a giraffe.
I like the idea, though.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. In society, you have good and you have bad. You have dark and you have light. You have happiness. You have sadness. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Let me finish my claim. That I believe that in society you have opposites. You have male. You have female. Good, bad, up, down, night, daytime. So if you have people who are using rituals and secret societies for evil to worship Baal, then you must have people who are following societies using supernatural stuff for good.
And you don't believe that that's a logical fallacy?
Why? So only the bad stuff exists.
Why is that a fallacy, though, John?
This the thing. This the thing. Yeah, like you said, only the bad stuff. Did I say you can't use Baal for good?
Whoa, this is new. I didn't know you could use. Okay, please tell me more.
So you this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
Well, maybe we should let him go. Just go on, do your thing.
I'm doing my thing, man.
Yeah.
You have presuppositions of the nature of how this shit works, which is like it's fine. You can highlight it, but I'm saying that it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. It doesn't have to be that. Because you've got one group of people kidnapping kids for bad, that you must have someone on the other side rescuing kids for good. As
well, they are doing it for good, but it's not good for you. It's good for them. So If they was gonna do
I know
it,
that. I mean, good for us. Someone who's doing good for us.
I kind of like the idea, though. I can't quite understand the fallacy part of the idea. I like the idea.
Yeah, you like it doesn't make it fact. Hold on, you liking it don't make it fact. You just saying, oh well, if someone's doing this for bad, then it's got to be the opposite making it good. That's a fallacy.
No, as in, what I would say is, then, like, if that's my thing is, if that's going on there, then that's what we should be doing. If you consider yourself good, then go do that. Go combat the fuckery on that side.
do you have the knowledge? Do you have the knowledge?
Well, this is it.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
the only people that's gonna have the knowledge is to follow the agenda, because it's so tight. The circle is so tight. You can't get in the circle unless they know that you're gonna follow the agenda.
Are you guys interested in moving it on to what you do about it, or how we deal with it in
That's like man saying there's no hope.
No, that's not one thing.
No hope.
What I think is, I think, like me personally, you know, like we're an hour and 56 minutes into the stream. Like you lot may have loads of things to do in the day. I'm streaming today, so I'm not necessarily in a rush to skim over important points. I want to kind of delve into each point that we can, and pull up information and have a good gander and a good discussion at any point. I don't want to dismiss anything, but I don't like the idea of just skipping to a certain point, because there's a lot of meat and potatoes that we're just gonna gloss over. And I think we have to have an eye for detail when we're talking about things like this. Yeah, so I don't want to miss anything. And what I want to do is paint the backdrop of, okay, regardless of what you believe in, you could be an atheist, I could be a Christian, you could be a Muslim. Regardless of what we believe in, if we can accept at least that there is a ruling elite, if we can accept at least that they have handed this power through their bloodlines to themselves and stayed in power.
There's a lot in between that and what you're presenting, though. You know what I mean? There's a lot like that. I can agree with that, much of it, but you're presenting a whole lot of other things as well that you want to tie in, and like as if it's just a given.
I've not tied.
But I'm not saying it's not right or it is right. I'm just saying